More than 4,500 migrants have crossed the English Channel from France to Britain in small boats this year, 4 times more than this time last year. There is broad agreement that dangerous journeys must stop, but there is also bitter debate over how that should be done. Britain's latest plan is to fly migrants 4,000 miles away to Rwanda, where they will be placed in holding centres while their asylum claims are processed. Britain's Home Secretary announced the plan during a visit to Kigali earlier this month.
The persistent circumventing of our laws and immigration rules and the reality of a system that is open to gaming and criminal exploitation has eroded public support for Britain's asylum system and those that genuinely need access to it. Putting evil people smugglers out of business is a moral imperative. It requires us to use every tool at our disposal and also to find new solutions.
Britain has paid Rwanda an initial $156 million for a 5-year trial of the plan. That will cover setting up the initiative and adapting migrant holding centres like this former hostel in Kigali. Additionally, Britain will pay Rwanda for each migrant it accepts.
This will not only help them, but it will benefit Rwanda and Rwandans and help to advance our own development.
The policy has prompted a furious response. The Archbishop of Canterbury, the most senior cleric in the Anglican Church, criticised the policy in his Easter sermon.
Subcontracting out our responsibilities, even to a country that seeks to do well, like Rwanda, is the opposite of the nature of God.
Migrant support groups are calling for safe routes for refugees to reach Britain. They say Britain should not be outsourcing refugee processing to Rwanda, a country where the British government itself has flagged human rights concerns.
We think it's inhumane, it's going to be very expensive, and it won't be effective. The UK is a signatory to the Refugee Convention. We have a legal and moral obligation to be assessing any asylum claims to the UK in the UK.
Until 2014, Australia sent thousands of migrants to processing centres in Papua New Guinea and Nauru. It failed to deter migrants, says analyst Madeline Gleeson.
In the first year of offshore processing being in place, more people arrived in Australia by boat than at any other time in recorded history of asylum seekers arriving that way.
Britain has indicated that only some migrants will be sent to Rwanda, likely to be single men.
What you might find is that the next boats of people coming across the channel belong to those groups which are not going to go to Rwanda. So you might see increased numbers of women and children coming on that boat. There will be a cap on how many people can go to Rwanda.
There are concerns the migrants will simply try again to reach Britain, so fueling the human trafficking gangs. But the British government says the prospect of being sent to Rwanda will deter migrants from embarking on the treacherous journeys across the English Channel. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.